Right.
Not anymore. My toxicness will stop me from loving myself or trusting others in my peaceful place. Not anymore. My lack of post-trauma is going to stop me from my future growth. Yes, not anymore. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm overcoming. I know I'm a positive. I know I'm loved. And yes, not anymore. I'm dope. Dedicated to other people, empowerment. I love my dopeness, and so should you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So excited to have everybody tuning in and anybody that's tuning in later. I am Sheena, the host of many different platforms, but today we are in Powering Your Voice, and we are actually talking about sexual assault, and we're actually going to talk about a fundraiser today, and we have Dr. Juanita McDonald in the building. How are you, Dr. Juanita? How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here because, sexual assault is definitely a very important topic that we do need to discuss because it happens so often. And so many times people suffer in silence, or they're not speaking out about it, or they're, just dealing with different things and don't know how to deal with it.
Absolutely.
So can you kind of give us a little bit of your background?
It would be a pleasure. I am Dr. Juanita McDonald, founder, executive director of Rediscover Me Women Initiative. Our mission is to engage, educate, and inspire change for which a woman and teen girl affected by abuse, trauma, and mental health. And we have been doing this since 2016, working with individuals within our community across the nation. I am certified as a victim service provider for the state of South Carolina. I am also a mental health specialist, as well as a suicide prevention specialist and trainer in the faith-based community, as well as in organizations. And so our primary aim, as always, is to bring awareness as it pertains to assault and violence in all forms.
Right, absolutely. So can you tell us about how did you get into, creating the foundation and just being an advocate and standing and being that voice?
By accident, Shauna.
Okay.
And it was something that I ran from for the longest. In the midst of redefining myself and the things that I had been through in life, not from the, the one thing that I did not say in the midst of me sharing my bio is that I am a victim of secondhand trauma.
Okay.
And so as that victim, as that person, you and your audience know immediately that it comes with a lot of issues that you have to learn how to navigate throughout life. So in the midst of me revamping and starting over, I wound up going back to college later in life. And in the midst of returning back to college, I found college classmates was coming up to me. As I shared stories, as I talked about different things, I truly didn't know that this was my calling, that this was something I was going to be doing. I actually returned back to school during the mortgage crash just to get my foundation for in my field, which is finance. Right. But more and more I talked about me, the more women came, and I kept saying, Lord, they won't stop.
Right. They're just connected. They're, it's your purpose, and they were coming.
I was becoming the mouthpiece and didn't even know I was becoming an advocate. And so through that, the biggest thing that dawned on me was that even though they wouldn't stop, I kept saying, well, if I'm going to be giving out advice, I better know what I'm talking about.
True.
And so I wound up revamping my classes and taking more human behavior classes and learning, and did my internship with an organization, a domestic violence organization here called SCAVASA. And in the midst of looking at the depth of that organization, I seen a ton of holes that was not reaching women, and more so not reaching Black and brown women. And so as you know and I know, the system is not designed
right
all of us. It is
Correct.
it is a structure that is formatted for everyone to fit, and everybody does not fit into our systemic structure. And so, as I looked at that and began to structure, create Rediscover Me and build on it, I just started looking at what are we missing. And so that's where you see the primary part of the abuse, trauma, and mental health. Because first, when you are impacted by abuse, it leads to trauma, which
Right.
therefore leads to mental health disparities.
Right.
And so that's how we
Absolutely.
began. Hmm.
Listen, see, so like I understand about running from your purpose, and then it's like it's attached to you. You may as well go ahead and stop running and just go ahead and do what you're called to do. So I definitely understand, and I really do understand the trauma because I've been a VD victim, so I know how it goes as far as the mental health and the DV situation. They coincide. The trauma, if you don't fix it, it will definitely can turn your life upside down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does. And so, mental health, uh, there's so many things that I've learned as I studied, mental health and breaking all of that down. We have a lot of work to do.
Right. We
That's
do.
basically what it
We
all
do.
sums up
We
to. We
do.
have a lot of work to do.
We do. We absolutely do. And I definitely commend you for being on the front lines of, being an advocate, teaching, getting the word out, educating and helping. Listen. So can we talk about how did you create your what is it called? The Panty-Thon?
Our fundraiser.
Yes.
Our fundraiser takes place in April. And as you know, Shauna, April is Sexual Assault Survivors Month.
Yes.
And so it was created through me hearing a story. Um, my mentor shared with me about a young girl who she was helping to tell her story.
Okay.
And her story centered on being raped, having to go through her having her getting her going through the hospital, having the rape kit completed, and the process of going through that, how it re-victimized her. And
Wow.
so most people, if you are not aware, a rape kit entails an individual that has been sexually assaulted having to go into the hospital where they have to remove everything that you have. That is, your bras, your panties, any type of body piercings, anything that is in your hair, your jewelry, everything has to be taken from you. And so you're put in this, well, I don't want to give all the details, but
In a room and
in a room, and you have to go through this
mm-hmm.
process. And so, I kept feeling this young girl's pain as my mentor told me the story. But the part that really just threw me over the edge was when she shared that as she was leaving the hospital after the examination, she was given scrubs and a pair of underwear that were 2 sizes too large.
Oh wow.
So just imagine, this young girl, as she described, walking out of the hospital through the ER, holding up her underwear,
Yeah.
and then
That's
feeling like all eyes are on her.
right.
So yeah, that kind of tore at my heart. But then after
Yeah.
I heard that story from that young girl again in person, I got an opportunity to talk to her. I just felt like I just wanted to, I had to do something. I knew I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do something. And so my mentor had talked about this raising, campaigning for underwear. And so I asked her, like, hey, can I do that? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I did not think that it was going anywhere, Shauna.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think we were going to do anything. So last year was the first year that we did it. We put on a campaign, called people in like yourself,
Mm-hmm.
who because our primary basis for that campaign was to make it entertaining
Right.
and bring awareness through entertainment.
Correct.
And so we had speakers, we had organizations to share about what their office does, what this means, what they do. We also had individuals who came and shared resources that could protect people. And we had individuals that showed us different formats of how to, poems and song and dance and a phenomenal mistress of ceremony. I mean, we just had a whole entire event, and it was streamed through social media. And so, in the midst of that, we raised $5,000. Yes, for
Yes.
resources and funding. We were able to bless 3 organizations.
That's nice.
3 organizations that work directly with suicide, sexual assault survivors. And this is the caveat to it, Shauna, how we take panties for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered this year that our organization was the first our organization, one of the excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering.
It's okay.
One of the organizations that we provided panties to, even though they helped survivors, they never gave out panties to them.
Wow.
So
Okay.
our fundraiser actually provided resources for that organization for their survivor, for their survivors.
Yeah.
Wow. I was so like,
That's wow. Yeah. That's big.
that was big to me.
Listen, it's big to me. Like that. Listen, and it's very awesome that your fundraiser was able to provide resources and able to give donations to 2 different organizations. Now, if anybody wanted to be able to participate, donate, because I know you're having it this year, and of course, yes, I'm a part of it.
Yes.
We call it She Showed Up. I'm very excited. I'm ready.
Left out our theme, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, our theme, She Showed Up, and we definitely need you and your viewing audience to show up for sexual assault survivors. And the reason why Shauna, thanking you for inviting me on, it is not limited to where I live. We live in Columbia. Our base is Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah.
I'm from Carolina, so
okay.
You already know, yes.
But our resources are not pinpointed just for here. We have an organization in North Carolina that will be receiving donations this year, Piedmont. We have an organization in Illinois that will be receiving donations, and that's for the SHE program. They provide sanitary hygiene items for teen girls. And we also have our local organization, Hush No More, that will be receiving resources and donations. And so it is broadband. And so your donations can be submitted through our Cash App, which is hashtag Rediscover Me. Hashtag Rediscover Me. They can be mailed, cash, check, or money order can be mailed to Rediscover Me, and that's 7001 St. Andrews Road, PMB, Paul, Bob, Mary, and that could be 413, and I'll give that to you, 413 Columbia, South Carolina, 29212. And then it can also be Zelle through my phone number. So I'm going to give you all of that. You can put it on your links.
Yeah, and, I'll add it actually into the group.
Okay.
That way it's on the timeline and stuff like that. I might even pin it to the top of the group and then share it on all the rest of the platforms I have.
Thank you so much. Because as you hear, I'm stuttering through this here. Like
it's okay. It's okay. But it's a pleasure to be able to help wherever I can. It's so many times, especially as people are teens. I know it's even worse on them when this happens. So can you kind of just give people a little information on how this can traumatize teens, and just how can they better help in this in this struggle that is going on, because like you said, it's a lot of work to do and we can't do it by ourselves.
Absolutely. What you're looking at is as you first heard me introduce myself, I stated that I am the victim of secondhand trauma-informed issues. Mm-hmm. What most people don't quite understand is that when you are a mother or father, or if your child is in a home where the individual is being victimized, or if you are an individual that has been sexually assaulted, whatever you have went through and you have children, they pick up on that.
Right.
See, the body begins to function or act out in manners that is unbeknown to you at times. Sometimes the person may find themselves crying for no reason. And then you might look over and see your child crying for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of you thinking, what happened to me?
Mm-hmm.
And that child is feeding off of me, you're looking at the child going, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And they can't tell you what's wrong with them because they don't know what's wrong with them.
But they're feeling that energy. That's
absolutely. And then if the anger, that's
mm-hmm.
transferable.
Right.
That's being transferred. So whatever anger's on the inside of you because of what happened is being transferred to that child. And so whatever starts at a childhood, guess what? It matriculates into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And there's this word that I'm teaching, that I try to teach people to begin to grab hold to, is that transgenerational epigenetic inheritance. Mm-hmm. Means that we already have trauma stamped on our DNA.
Gotcha.
That we are dealing with. And so then when we incur trauma within the homes or within the streets, with wherever, or even if we bring it and we mm-hmm. never address it, it's going to be inside of us. It's on the inside of us. So there are things that we have to start healing from in order for us to heal our children as well.
Absolutely. So guys, I hope y'all take in the information. If you have more questions, you can always reach out to Dr. Juanita McDonald. She is always available to answer anything. If you know somebody that needs some help, say something. Be able to be that, that person that they can come to, so they'll feel that they're not walking this alone. Because so many times, kids, adults, men, women, boys, girls, they're dealing with it and don't know what to do. They having these feelings and not knowing how to handle it. Or they're afraid that nobody's going to believe them. Because so many times it'll happen and it'll be like, oh, well, if I say something, either they're scared because they've been threatened, or they don't know what's going to happen, if how their parents or family will react. So just allow them to know that it's a safe space.
Absolutely. I agree.
So, is there anything else you want to share about sexual assault? And if not, we can pretty much close it out. It was just a basic little education for people, and you can tell them how to contact you if they need to get any more information, if they need some help, or if you need to connect them with somebody if they need some help somewhere else.
Well, the biggest thing that I want your audience to know is that sexual assault happens every 68 seconds. Every 68 seconds, somebody somewhere is being assaulted. And the support that you give to our organizations, or organizations like ours, it goes a long way. You are helping a survivor to reclaim their dignity. And so if anytime that you may want to have a conversation, need someone to come and help educate, whether it be your faith-based community, your community leaders, or just have your women group, be sure to contact me. I am on all social media sites. My name is Juanita Britt McDonald. You can message me through Facebook. You can also reach us through my email, which is rediscoverme09@gmail.com. rediscoverme09@gmail.com. You can also reach me through Instagram, and that's under rediscover me @rediscoverme. And you can also send us a message. I'm trying to think. Our office number, 803-310-3450. Oh, I have to get used to all of that.
I said so much to remember. I'm telling you, I understand. Well, Dr. Juanita, I am honored to have had you here today. I've learned some things, and I hope y'all have learned some things. And like I said, if y'all know of anybody that might need some help, or y'all might want it to get educated on some things to help someone else, please reach out. And if you can't find her, find me and I'll find her and give her the information. So we are connected. And she ain't listen. She already look. She got me now. I'm not going nowhere. So she ain't getting rid of me.
They need to tune in April 9th because you will be reading your special poem.
Absolutely. So April 9th, I will be presenting my poem called She Showed Up. So make sure y'all tune in to your girl, the lady behind the mask, showing up, doing what I do, because I'm showing up. You had to say she showed up, so I'm showing up for it. So make sure y'all show up for you and for me and for the organization, because we here trying to raise some money. And make sure y'all donate. Send, share, and please share this broadcast so somebody out there might get the information or might want to donate. I thank you as always, and as a pleasure, we always thank you for tuning in. And actually, I think this Thursday, I'm actually having a mental health broadcasting. So make sure y'all tune in, because I have Shamika Morton that will be here also talking about mental health. So listen, we are doing it this month. We're coming in with all the information. We're coming in with all the facts. This have been, broadcast out my group called The Power in Your Voice, because what? We are the power in our voice. So as always, I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all soon.
Take care.